can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So then this is fine. The first screen is done. Now let's get started with the next screen, which is our add or edit priority. Okay. So let me add one more controller. Chocobar touch. Let's call it add priority view controller, subclass of UI view controller. Okay, next. Okay, I'll select these as well. Next. Okay, let's just check. Okay, these also I enable. Just add clarity. Okay, I'll just build. Fine. So first, let's get started with the design. Okay, I think I should have somewhere the design open. Let me see. Desktop apps services. Yeah, I think this is the one. Okay, let's open this. We can say we can use anything. We can say present modally, or we can say we can maybe let's use present modally. Present modally. Okay. Then and then here presentation transition. So here we can say that how we would like to transition. This is just till here. We can put either automatic or full screen. If you will say full screen, this entire screen will come. See,
Okay.
you saw right. Or I can say automatic. Automatic may it will just come half. The benefit of this is we don't really need to implement the dismiss button. We can just scroll down and this will be dismissed.
Okay.
Okay, so we can use either. Maybe we can let's use full screen only. Okay, fine. So then this is done. Now this, so from my plus button I've added here. Now I'll quickly go back and I'll select what is this meant. Yeah, and then let's design this screen based on our this here. Okay, so just there is only one difference. Instead of these buttons, we are going to use a segmented controller, and everything else is going to be same. First,
Yeah.
I'll add an image view. Let's make it square. So maybe 200 by 200 should be good. Okay, here, and then height width, top and center horizontally. This is done. Let's set the image. Image should be priority image. Done. Then I'm going to add text field, right? Text
Yes.
field. Okay. This I'll add a placeholder text. It says what do you want to achieve? And then I can add one more label. It will say accomplished by. Okay, what happened? Okay, it is coming here. Okay, firstly, custom Dudaganoy 16 is fine. And then let's put constraints, vertical spacing, then leading and trailing. Let's drag. Okay, and then this one, vertical, leading, height and width. This is done, and then I'll add a button. I'll take all the remaining space that is left. Okay, I think this is fine. Vertical spacing, trailing, and yeah, horizontal spacing. I think this is fine. Okay, and this button text is going to be my this thing, my date, whatever is the date. So for now, let's put this one only, September 1, 2023, and then we will see. We will do it programmatically anyway. Okay, this is only for the designing part. Okay, so then this is also done. This is in the center, accomplished by okay. And then we are going to add some a border and all, so this will look good. Okay, this one is also done. Then we have priority, so again a label. Okay, and then this one constraints are done. This one, let's add the constraints, vertical spacing, leading, and then trailing. And then I have a segmented control here. Segmented control, I'll drag and drop. I'll add 3 segments in total. The first one is going to be high. The second one is going to be medium. And the third one is going to be low. So this part is also done. Let's add the constraints. Leading and trailing and vertical. Done. Then we have just one more label. Okay, maybe we can just copy paste these two. Okay, I am going to clear the constraints. So vertical spacing, leading and trailing, and this one with respect to this, vertical spacing, leading and trailing. This one is also done. Here also we need, instead of priority, it would be status. Then here we'll have 3. The first one is to do. Then we have in progress. And third one is completed. Okay, and then finally we have one button. So add a button for submit. I think button maybe we can put it in the bottom. This will look better somewhere here.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one will say submit. Okay, done. We'll put up bottom. I need height and width. and I need center horizontally. Done. So my screen design is completed. Now let's add. Have I added? Yes, I have added. So for this one, we'll set the class. It is add priority view controller. Okay, done. Then we'll add the outlets. I'll delete all this. Okay, then first my text field, so let's add here. Okay, priority description text field. Then we have this slave button, due date button. This is an outlet. I'll also create an action for this. Okay,
Yeah.
due date tab. Then I have these two segmented controls. This one is priority segmented control, and then this one is status segmented control. Then I'll create actions as well. Priority changed. So whenever there is a change, whenever user will click on any of these, this will get called. Okay, so the event is value changed, not touch up inside. And for buttons, the event is touch up inside. So on tap of a button, there is an action. For segmented control, it is on the value change. Got it, no?
Yes.
Okay, so then value changed and then status changed. I'll add one more here. Status changed. Okay, and then submit button. Submit button is not done, right? Yeah, not done. So were you able to print what user has selected?
I'm not getting, sir.
So were you able to, so as part of assignment, what I told is, whatever user is selecting on tap of submit, you should print it.
Yes, that is I'm not done, sir.
Why?
I'm not able to do that one. Only I done this the second screen until for that next will go that design part and we have in the coding part I done.
Okay, but why you are not able to do?
Getting too confusing there, so I'm not able to how we can do that.
But then you didn't ask, no? In our, I told, no, we can ask.
I think we are in meet, right? That purpose only I waited.
No need to wait, no?
Okay.
Okay, so then priority description, priority segmented, due date, and then submit button. Submit button, I don't think that we need. Okay, submit button also, let's add the. So you don't have to meet for the next class. If you are facing any issues, you can let me know.
Sure. Okay,
Okay.
sir.
Fine. Then submit button, we'll add one more for here also, we'll add one outlet. Submit button.
We need to create submit one button also in that outlet, right?
Just in
Okay.
case, yeah, just in case we need. So I will give you the requirement to enable or disable the submit button. Okay.
Okay.
So in that case, you will need the submit button. Okay. So fine. Then this is also done. Then let's do this. Okay. So firstly, whatever is user entering, I would like to print the first thing. Okay. So here in my submit button tab, let's first print what is my text field, priority description, right? Priority
Yes.
description text field dot text. Okay. Then print uh, due date.
Yeah.
Okay, so due date, one second. So due date button I have set. Let's do one thing. I will create some variables here also. Okay. Due date.
Insert the tab button, right?
Inside the sorry, inside
Tab
this
button.
one. Yeah, this
Yeah.
one, the due date button. So in the due
Okay.
date button, whatever user has entered, I'd like to store it somewhere.
Okay.
Correct. So in that case, what I will do, I will create this. So either I can use directly the button, or I can use, let's say, so we are anyway we'll be using a date picker, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
we can use date picker dot date.
Okay.
Okay. So anything. So both of the things are fine. Just a sec. Okay. Date due date. Okay. Fine. So the due date is going to be a date picker. So let's just wait for this one. We'll implement a date picker. Then what is next? Priority. So okay. Before that, what is our model? Priority model, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So priority name, due date, priority status also is there, right?
You can create status.
Priority status.
Yeah.
Okay. And these will be enums. We'll cover enums also. Okay.
Okay.
So then this one is done. Okay, so before
One more,
that, huh,
right?
yeah, before that, let's create those enums. Okay,
Okay.
so what is an enum? Can you tell me what is an enum? In what cases we would use an enum? You have heard this, right? Enum.
Yes, yes. I heard this.
Okay, so what is an enum? So whenever you have any particular data which takes only a set of values, in those cases we would use enum. For example, there is a you are building an application for airline Indigo, okay, and you are working on a booking management seat booking screen.
Yes.
Now, what seat can be only three? Either it can be window, either it can be aisle, or it can be middle seat. Correct? Is that right?
Yes.
So any data which you would like to save, which can take only a set of values, we would use enum. So the benefit of this is firstly the readability. Secondly, I cannot mistakenly add or put any value which does not belong to it. If I use a string, for example, I can put any string.
Yeah.
Correct. But if I use an enum, I'll have to select either it is high, low, or medium. I'll show you. I'll show a demo. Okay. So then we have high, low. Let's put low and then one more medium. Yes, medium. Okay. So high, low, and medium. These three are done. So now priority status I am going to priority I am going to change this from the string data type. I'll change it to do priority.
Okay.
So it is no longer a string. So you can no longer put any value you like. You have to select either high, low, or medium.
Okay.
Okay, we will. I'll show you how to use this also. Okay, then name is fine, due date is fine, priority status. We need one for priority status also, because priority status, what values priority status can take?
First and medium, right?
What? No. What is the priority status? It can be to do, in progress, or completed.
Yes.
So there can be only three values. Correct.
Yeah.
So even
Yeah.
in that case, we are going to use an enum. Okay. To do prior or not required to do, we'll just say priority. Can we just say okay, priority is fine. Enum priority status
Okay. So it is-
string, and then we'll say case what and all it can take. It can take
First, so to do first.
to do, right? Okay, so it can take to do, and it is the sequence can be anything. Okay, it does not matter. In progress is in progress,
It is
and
complete.
is completed is equals to completed. Okay,
Yes.
now this one is going to be priority and this one is going to be
Priority status.
correct priority status. Okay, so now I'll go back, and okay, now if you remember in my course application or earlier applications, what we did, we in if you see in priority list, I created one array called priorities,
Yes.
correct, which will have multiple priorities. In my add view controller, I'm going to use the same thing for edit also. Same screen I'll use for edit also. Okay.
Okay.
So if you tap on a particular priority, I want this screen to show up.
Yes.
Okay. So here, instead of an array of priorities, what I should put here?
We can call that we that array for that.
Which array?
The we are created in the we controlled array. We are called that function
Huh.
for the array of the priority model. Here we can add here for the.
No, no. So no, no. So what I'm asking is, here I have created this one. Okay. Why have I created this?
Because we are calling that function priorities in the array of the priority model, right? We need to controller we are using in that.
I didn't get you.
No, we are that all the data model is stored in the priority model, right? Array of the priority model. So we are create the priorities in that view controller before
Okay.
we need click
Very
on
good.
this.
Very good. So we would like to display a list of priorities. So we have
Yes,
created
yes.
okay. What about here? What should we create here? Do we need a list of priority here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in add priorities, can you create multiple priorities together?
Yes, sir, we can.
How we'll create? You will just enter one value, all right? You will just add one by one only, right? Like at a time, can you at one time you can create or edit? For example, let's say edit. Can you edit multiple together? You will tap on one. Okay, let me show you here. You can tap on one particular priority and then you will go to
Yes.
this screen.
Yeah.
How many priorities you will have here?
Only one.
Only one, right? At a time you have only one. So what should be here? I'll say
One.
priority model equal to data type is going to be
Um, edit. No, no. I'm not able to see.
it is small.
Little bit small.
Okay.
Yes, okay.
So what
Yes.
is the data type? Priority model.
Priority model.
Okay, and this can be nil. Okay, why it is priority model? So
Because we have the
tell me.
so, we have to store the values in priority model, right? So that will be via when you'll tap on that edit screen, it will go that in the values.
Correct. So when you'll tap on this add or edit, the selected priority I'll I'll take here, and from that selected priority I'll populate that data.
Hopefully.
Okay.
So here, we are creating the priority model, and after that colon capital P, right? What is the difference? We are the same, right?
Which one?
But
Which one?
just now
This
we are
one and this
created
one, huh?
var, right? Yeah.
Okay, this one is a variable name. Okay,
Okay.
and this one is my model struct name. If you see here,
Yes.
this is my structure, and it is not same because this is starting from small letter. If
Yes.
it will
Yes.
start from capital, no, I cannot do that.
Okay.
Okay, so basically what I'm creating, this is a variable. Variables always starts with small letter. So I
Always.
am and I can put any name here. I can put priority
Okay.
also.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, let's put priority only. Priority will get us confused because priority we are saying this also. So let's put
Yeah.
priority model only. But you got it, no? This is just a variable
Yeah.
name, and this is my struct name.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, so fine. Now this is done. Now what I will say now, okay, so then my priority due date tab. Okay, so one by one we will select. Okay, we will update. Priority changed. Now here there is something called in segmented control we have something like selected index. So even I don't remember, but let's give that a try. Okay, so here in priority changed, I'll say if dot, I think it is something called, yeah, selected segmented index, and this is
Yes.
going to be 0. 0 is for,
Index for that one. First
okay,
one.
yeah, first one is high.
Hi.
Correct, you can
Yes.
use a switch or if else whatever. Okay, there are just three. You can use switch also here. So if is equal to 0, then I will say my what is the priority model, right? So I'll say priority model dot priority is equals to high, right?
Okay.
Correct, high, because it is the first one,
Yeah.
first index is high. Okay,
Hi.
can I mention like this high? Can I do this?
Mm, no, we cannot.
We
No,
cannot.
sir.
Okay, why?
We are not assigned that priority with the high, I think.
Okay, so firstly, we'll do one thing. Here we'll put var first. We'll always start with let, and then if required, we will put var. Okay, so now we have to add update. So I'll put var, go back. Now instead of high, what am I supposed to do? Instead of high, what am I supposed to write here?
We can give the high name.
Okay, we'll go back, we'll see what is priority. Maybe here you can tell me. I want to enter high here. What am I supposed to put? What is the date?
Priority.
What is the data type of priority?
Priority, because we are assigning the priority case using the enum, right?
Correct.
We
If we
have
are doing
to
it
put
with
the
an
high.
enum, so we have to
Yeah.
set an enum. So enum is priority dot high.
Priorities. Yeah.
Okay, so I cannot say high. I'll say it will not allow me.
Yes,
Okay,
priority.
priority dot high. I can
High.
do this.
Okay.
Got it, no? So now I
Yeah.
cannot set any value. I can only set
Yeah.
values which are allowed.
Assign. Okay.
Okay. So if else, again you can use a switch also here. If else priority segment it is 1, I'll say this one is medium,
Medium.
and
Okay.
then I'll say once more is 0, 1 and 2. This one is low. Got it?
Yes.
Same thing we'll do in place of status also. Okay, what is it?
If else.
Array if
So
else
we
nahi,
are
else if else if.
yes. Yeah. If else.
Sorry.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so fine. Then this is done. Then here, maybe I can just copy paste, and then I'll just change status segmented control. Okay,
Yes.
status segmented control, and then here it will be priority status dot.
Dot. I think we are given first one.
First one is
Complete.
to do.
To do.
Okay, first one is to do.
In progress. Second one.
Correct.
To
Then
test.
we have in progress. Then we have completed.
Complete.
Okay, so priority model. Now priority model, I have set the data. Priority model due date. Let's set today's date only for now. Okay, priority model that due date is equals to date. Okay, then this one is also done. Then my description, where is the description? Okay, description, I'll take it directly from here. Now let's print priority model dot due date, and then let's print all the remaining values on top of submit button. Okay, status, priority status, and priority and priority. Fine, I'm just
Yes.
printing it. Let's see what happens. Okay, what happened here? Priority status dot to, not priority but priority status. Priority status. Priority status. Now let's run and check what happens. Okay, yeah. So now this will change. So this my data thing will change. It will be okay. Maybe I'll do one thing. For now, I'll just return an empty array. And let's remove these. I don't need these because anyway these will be entered by the user. Okay, so then I don't need these. Let's build. Okay, there's just one more. Label dot text is equals to okay. So now priority label dot text. Okay, what is the data type that this expects? Priority label dot text. What is the data type it is expecting? What is the data type that this is expecting? Can I enter 1 here? Will this take 1? Will this take?
No, sir.
Why?
Because priority text.
Why it will not take 1? If I'll do this, will it take? Huh?
Yes.
Why?
With the we are giving the string, right? Label text, the number of the
Because what is the data type of text?
string only.
String only, right? So it is what data type it is expecting?
It is with the string only, the number.
It is expecting string only, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So then, okay. So now let me undo. So now what is the problem with this?
We are not in this declare the string, right? Here.
Yeah. So what is the data type of priority?
A string only. Priorities.
Is it?
String. Yes.
What is the data type of priority? It is an enum.
Enum. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Enum.
Enum is there.
So I need the string value of this, right?
Yes.
And this enum is nothing but a of type string only. So what I can say priority dot, and then I can say raw value. This will actually extract the enum from there. Okay, so then this is fine. Due date is okay. Fine. Anyway, we don't need this. Let's run. Okay, let's add plus. Now we are having this screen. Okay, let's add something. Let's say buy groceries. Let's select medium and let's select completed. Okay, let's delete this and let's tap submit. Okay, this one is buy
Yes.
groceries but remaining is nil. Why? I think because that object never got initialized. So let's initialize this object. Where is my add priority? Add priority. Okay, so this one never got initialized. So I'll say priority. Okay, um, where due date equal to of type date. Okay, where priority of type priority, where status of type priority status, and then where priority description of type string. And then what I will do here, instead of setting it to priority model, I am going to set it to due date. Okay, due date. This thing. Then here also, instead of setting directly here in the priority model, I will set it to here priority. I'll tell you what I'm doing. So I'm setting it to priority. I'm creating local variables.
Okay.
Okay, and then here also I'll say priority status, right? Okay, I'll just name it priority status, and then I'll remove these. So I'm not assigning directly to the model. I'm saving this locally first.
Okay.
Okay, then I will do this. So now what I will say, okay, priority model equal to priority model. Now here I will create. See, here I'm going to create an instance like this. Okay, so priority, what is my priority? Priority name. Priority name is going to be my text field. So
Yes.
what is the name? Priority text field. Priority text field dot text. This is an optional, so I'm just using double quotes there. Okay, then we have date. Let's say today's date, and then priority status. Okay, now let's say what is the error. For better readability, let's put, can I just reduce this size a bit so that, yeah,
Okay.
okay. Is this too small? Let me just check if it is smallest or presentation. This is too
No
small.
issues there.
This is fine.
No issue.
Okay. So then we have priority, and then we have due date, and then we have priority status. Okay. So then these four is done. Now what it says? It says that must be wrapped. So it just says that it must be wrapped. Otherwise, I can also say priority dot. Okay. By default, it is high, right? The first one is high.
Yeah.
Okay. And then here also I can say priority status dot to do.
Cool.
Now let's see. this one is done. Let's build. Okay, now let's run. Okay, let's tap plus. What would you like to achieve? Buy groceries, and then I'll say medium, I'll say in progress, and I'll say completed. Okay, I'm not printing it, sorry. And then print priority model, run. Okay, buy groceries, medium and in progress. Let's delete this. Let's tap submit. Now let's see. I selected in progress, I selected medium, correct? See,
Yes.
medium, and
Yes.
then this is buy groceries, and this is today's date, due date. Okay,
Yeah.
so this was actually your assignment. I wanted this to print, that's all. Okay, now what we'll do, so now this is fine. Now just maybe one or two things. One is your date picker. Okay, so what I'll say, I have my date picker, maybe just okay, in that storyboard. Okay, just one thing here. Here, no, instead of button, let's use a date picker instead of a button. Okay, I'll delete this part. I think that there is everything is okay. Maybe I'll just drag till here. And then I'll put a date picker. Yeah. Let's add this here. Okay. Let's select this. I don't need time. Okay, I just need date. So here I have my preferred style. Automatic will have date and time both. Okay, I can say wheels. So see, this one is wheels. I can say inline. This is, or I can say compact. Compact. Okay. Compact. Yeah, and then mode. I don't need time. So I'll just say date. See, fine. So now let me reduce. Okay, okay, chal, bye. नहीं नहीं अभी नहीं, bye. Okay, so this one is also done. Now I'll just update this constraint to trailing till here. Okay, wait. This one, I think these two constraints are okay. So first let's do one thing. Let's set this constraint. Okay, I'll say vertical spacing and trailing, and I'll say vertical. Okay, instead of vertical spacing, I can say this should be in the center of this, center vertically. Okay, and then maybe I can put a height and width. Done. And then this one, I'll remove the trailing, and I'll remove the trailing, and I'll do with this trailing. Done. This can be with this trailing. When you will see Swift UI, no, you will see that how easy it is. You don't have to do anything with constraints. Okay, we'll after this maybe we'll cover Swift UI and combine. Okay. Hello.
Hello. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so then I'll go here. Add priority. And then instead of due date button, I don't need a button here. What I want?
Date.
I need a date picker. So I'll create an outlet for my date picker. Okay, this is done. Accomplished by. Fine, perfect. Okay. Fine. So this one is fine. Now just one last thing is about the date picker. Okay. So what I will do, firstly, I am going to set up my date picker. Okay. So then I'll write here, let's say private func setup date picker, and then here let's just call setup date picker. Okay, so now that date picker I have to set. Okay, so there are a couple of parameters that I have to set for my date picker. Okay, the first thing is the date. What should be the date which is displayed on the date picker? Okay, so I'll say my date picker date is today's date. Okay, then I have to say, can you make a priority of and say that I would like to complete this by yesterday?
Yes.
Okay, can you do that? Can you say that I want to buy groceries yesterday?
Yes.
What does that mean? If you want to buy groceries,
Okay.
by when you want to buy? You will want to buy by today or by tomorrow,
Today only. Today needs weekend
or
today
maybe
only.
tomorrow, or maybe by next week.
Tomorrow.
But can you
Yes.
say that I want to buy groceries last week, by last week,
No, sir.
or by yesterday? Because yesterday is over, right?
Yes.
So I can't really create a to-do item for any past date.
Yes.
Correct? So there is something called a minimum date in my date picker. Okay, minimum date. So minimum date also I am going to put as today's date, which basically mean that I cannot set any date which is prior to today's date. Okay, got it right? Okay, then we have something like picker mode. So here in the storyboard we have already set date. There are a couple of modes, date and time and all. I am going to use date. Okay, so I will say date,
Okay.
which means that I will only show date. Okay, then I have preferred style. There in storyboard we have seen wheels, and then compact, right, and inline. There are multiple, right? So let's use compact. So date picker, and you can play around with multiple types. Okay,
Okay.
I'll say compact, wheels, inline. These are three are there. Okay, and then this is also done. Then there is very important thing. Let's say your iPad or iPhone is today in India. Okay, so you are using your India location and your time and your local. Now let's say you are traveling somewhere else, okay, to the US. Now you want that particular place's local to take, right? So we
Yeah.
will always set the local. So this is a very common issue that you will see in lot of applications, that whenever they change the location or the language or the calendar changes, then the date will not work. Okay, that the main reason of that is the local is not set. Okay,
Okay.
and then once you tap on this, okay, so this due date we don't want. Once you tap on this date picker, I want some function, right, some handling
Yeah.
to be done. So let's add that also. So func handle date selection. Okay, and then I'll say whatever is my due date. I have created one due date. Okay, so I'll say due date is equals to my date picker dot date.
Yes.
Okay, it's fine. So then this is also fine. Now just one thing, whenever I'm selecting something on date picker, I want this handle date selection to be called, right?
Okay.
So in that case I can add a target. So I can say add target. Okay, target is going to be self, action is going to be my handle date selection. So this thing, so this is accepting a selector. So I'll say selector, and then this is what it says. It should be an Objective C method, correct?
Yes.
So I need to put here @Objective C. Okay, and then I'll say my handle date selection. This is my method name which I'd like to call, and for value changed. Select. So whenever I'll change the value of my date picker to any new date, my handle date selection will be called. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. So then handle date selection, to due date I have set as today's date. Again, just one more thing is my date formatting. Okay, so what I want is I want my date to be formatted correctly. So what I can do, let me show you this date picker. I think this is fine. Let's print. Let's run first. Okay, I'll tap plus. I'll say by just anything. Then see. Now if you tap on this, I can see my date picker.
Yes.
Okay. It is very easy, right, to create a date picker. It is extremely easy. See, these are just few things, and you know each line of code what we are doing and why we are doing, right?
Yes.
Tap on this. Why I am not able to select 7?
Because that is an yesterday, right?
Okay, so which line of code is not allowing me to set it to 7? Which is that line of code? What is the code that we wrote?
Yeah, date for the minimum date.
Minimum date, correct. So let's say I would like to buy groceries by Thursday. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so see, my date picker got updated to 10, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Now it is 10. Now let's say medium and in progress. I'll tap completed. Now let's say, okay, due date is still 8. Why is that? Because date picker dot date minimum date picker dot date is updated. So why it is not taking date picker dot date equal to selected date picker dot date. So date picker dot date ideally should give me the new date, handle date selection. So due date is going to be, and here I am saying, okay, I'm not, I'm passing today's date only. It should be due date. Okay, now we'll run. Okay. Due date. And by default is today's date.
Yes.
Let's run. Now it should work. So I'll just say I'll say, let's say August 12th. And then let's say medium in progress, submit. See, it should be C, August 12th. Okay.
Yes.
One more thing is due date is coming with time, right?
Yeah.
Do I need? I don't need. I just need date. Okay.
Yes.
So I can write a formatter. Now, all of those advanced Swift concepts, we will learn in this priority application. Okay. So we have seen enums. Let's see use of extensions. You have used extensions earlier in view controller whenever you are setting delegates.
Yes.
Let's see another example of extensions. Okay. So what we can do is, for let's say any existing class, if we want to add any additional functionality, we can create an extension. So what I will say, I will create an extension here. So let's create a new file. We can name it anything we want. For now, we would like to create an extension on date. So I will say date utility. Okay. Even these utility function method classes and all you will be creating. Okay. When you will be joining your company. Okay. Now we would like to create an extension on date. So I'll say extension date. Okay. And then here we can write any function. So whatever function you will write in this project, you can use directly on date. So for example, string. Okay, so in string, if you remember, or let's say for array, you remember that array has something. How do you get the first element of an array?
For index path in first element.
Any other way? Array dot first.
Yes, array dot first.
Do I have array dot second? No, I don't have. I have
No.
array dot first,
Yes.
and I think I also have array dot last, but I don't have array dot
Yes.
second. But if you
Yes.
want array dot second, you can actually create an extension on an array and you can put that function. Now I'll tell you a very common example. Let's say you are working on a card game, okay, where you would like to shuffle your array.
Okay.
Okay, array does not have shuffle. Shuffle
Yes.
means, got it, no? Just mix up.
Yes.
Array
Yes.
does not
Right.
have that. So I can create an extension on array with a function called shuffle, so that in my project I can just say array.shuffle and it will shuffle. Got it, no? So any
Yes.
existing APIs are okay, but if I'd like to add existing APIs, I can create an extension on top of existing classes. So for example, date. Date does not have something called get formatted date. Okay, so I am going to create a function. I'll say func get formatted date. Formatted date. And then this would is going to return me a string of formatted string. Yeah, and then here whatever is the date, right? So I'll have to create a formatter first. So I'll say date formatter, and then in the date formatter I can format whatever I want. So I want my date style to be short. Short means only something like this. This is short. Something like just my month, date, and year. That's all. I don't know nothing else. Okay. And then I can just return. I can just say formatter dot string from, and then here I'll say self. What is self here? What
So
do I mean by
format.
self? Self is date.
Formatting date.
So self basically is my date.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I'll show you how I'm going to use this get formatted date. See, I'll go back here in my here, and here I'll say due date dot get formatted date. I got it directly on the date.
Yes.
Okay. Now date is basically a string. So due date. Okay, one second. Okay. So due date basically is my date type, I think. Okay. So due date is my date type. Okay. So here I am going to due date is fine. When I'm due date. Okay. So then what I can do is I'll go back to my priority model and due date. Here I will use my string because I'll store a formatted date in for my due date. Now I'll go back here and I will say due date dot get formatted date. That's all. Okay. Now and maybe I can give this for optional. Let's run and let's see. So now I should be getting a formatted date. That's all. Plus by I'll say August 14 or let's say 15. Then let's say medium and completed. Tap. See.
Yes.
Okay. So now earlier I was getting full thing. Now I'm just
Dating
getting
time.
this one. Okay. And this is all I need. 15th of August 23. This is all I need to send it to my server backend.
Okay.
Okay. Fine. So then this is fine. I want you to, okay, let me stop share.